Andrew here. We are en route to see All the Faces of the Moon, the new monologue by none other than Mike Daisey. In all we can walk.
This is where we get hit by a car and you all see it on YouTube.
There's 29 different monologues that he's doing every single night for 29 nights. It's quite a feat. The episodes are also uploaded onto a podcast that anyone in the world can download and listen to. I've listened to almost all of the podcasts and I'm sort of caught up.
I'm the same with Breaking Bad. I'm still like 2 seasons behind.
He hasn't heard any of the podcasts, so you're going to get a very fair...
different angle, yeah.
Yes, me, who are very close to the story, and him, who doesn't know anything about it.
It's kind of like the opposite of pizza. Like, I love pizza, you can't stand it.
And you know what? The pizza's the same size as a full moon.
Oh.
That's bringing it all the way around.
That's called a callback. We're not going to talk about the specifics of this show because you will not see this show. If you would like to hear this show, you could do it on the podcast. And if you want to hear us laughing far too loud at a joke about Peter Greenaway, that happens about 30 minutes in. That being said, I feel as though this is approachable even if you know nothing about it, because he starts off with anecdotal sort of stories about his actual life and slowly brings you into this fantastical world of magic and clockwork and
werewolves and vampires
and historical characters. If you're familiar with either Neil Gaiman's, I can never know how to pronounce that, the Sandman series of comic books, or the Mage the Ascension role-playing game, you're going to like this.
Okay, my references would be like Matthew Barney. He's creating a world and characters in this world.
Right, a polyglot of man-made mythology. Huh?
That's a good one right there.
Did I complete your point there or not? He's a masterful storyteller, and he has this warm, sort of fatherly vibe going on. He just says stuff and tells stories about stuff that your father would never say. It's fucking weird shit. He's also kind of approaching like this weird, like, cosmic stand-up comedy routine thing.
Yeah, like something from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. I would highly recommend starting a #1 podcast and working your way through all 29 in order.
Because at one point I'm like, who the fuck is Jack?
And I'm like, you don't know Jack?
And Andrew's like, dude, Jack is like a big deal. And
yeah,
I'm like,
I identify with Jack, actually, and I think we all do. After the show, we were talking to somebody that knew nothing of the show, and they were like, what? Do these characters exist in the other shows, or do they only exist in this show?
Well, that's
and I'm like saying, motherfucker, Gibbs just died. Don't you know who Gibbs is?
It's about the interconnectedness of everything, and everything is interconnected. I thoroughly enjoyed it and was only mildly confused.
If you can't see it because you're listening to this dead voice, at least, hey girl. Hey! At least listen to the podcast. Thank you, Mike Daisey, for giving us this gift that is bigger than all of us. 2 green lights.